Chanel once said, "Every day is a fashion show and the world is the runway." If life is a catwalk, then Naomi Campbell has lived it. The highs were high and the lows, in 12-inch heels no less, are well documented. Once again, high fashion and the headlines collide as Campbell becomes the first supermodel in history to have a retrospective at the V&A. We met its star, and yes, she was fashionably late. It's very rare for anybody to have an exhibition about their entire life when they're still alive in the way that you have done. Does it feel daunting? Are you proud of it, or do you feel nervous about it?
I'm nervous about everything I do creatively that I put out to the world to see. I'm a perfectionist, I want it to be at its best. But I want this to be more than anything as an intimate portrayal of me, of things you didn't know about me and things that you've never seen.
The exhibition Naomi in Fashion charts 40 years on the catwalk, told through her wardrobe. A cultural icon who began modelling at 15 before becoming the first black woman to appear on the cover of French Vogue.
It wasn't so easy for women of colour to get covers, but I definitely fought for mine.
I just wondered, being at the front like that, did it ever feel lonely being the first?
I didn't know it then. You know, I know just as a black woman that I had to prove myself 150%.
You've been open about the fact that at times you weren't paid as much as your white counterparts.
Of course I wasn't. I wasn't paid as much. Wasn't given the same opportunities. Some people are like, so why are you still working so much now? Because I'm being given the opportunities now, maybe. Then I had to prove myself.
There's been a huge effort in modelling and across the board to diversify the industry. Does it feel genuine to you?
I'm not sure right now. I feel like there's a slip back, and so it's really trying to get that equilibrium and balance. Is what I'm hoping and wanting and staying optimistic for.
The retrospective looks back at Campbell's collaborators and friendships from George Michael to Nelson Mandela, and notably the late designer Alexander McQueen.
I loved Lee as a friend as well as a creative. He's so protective, so insightful. He used to say to me, "I don't want you to do this," and he was right. Very maternal Lee. He was an incredible cook. He'd be like, "Come home and have dinner," cooking in the kitchen. It's just like really, God.
You must miss him.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. You know, you have friends that can tell you the real deal. Rare.
At times, Campbell's catwalk moments eclipsed by her courtroom appearances, none more infamous than in 2007.
The supermodel was convicted of throwing a diamond mobile phone at her maid.
When Campbell was sentenced to 5 days community service after admitting throwing a phone at one of her assistants, famously wearing Dolce & Gabbana for her stint of sweeping and scrubbing on the streets of New York. When you look back on that moment in your life, how do you reflect on it now? Was it a difficult time?
I mean, it was a time of, I did something, I did my community service, but I also, I'm going to leave with my head held up high. But I understand why I did my community service. I understand why, but I took my accountability. I've never not.
And nobody can accuse Naomi Campbell of not remaining relevant. During the pandemic, she combined extreme hygiene and high fashion. Unsurprisingly, it went viral. One moment that really sticks out in my mind, Vogue said, Naomi Campbell's hazmat suit was one of the most symbolic looks of 2020. How did that come about?
Well, I bought like a pack of 30 hazmat suits or 50 maybe, on Amazon. Some people said I stole them from PPE, from the hospitals. It was like all these stories. That's my germaphobe, that's my thing. It's whether there was COVID or not, I clean.
Naomi, it's lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much.
It's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.